Hey guys, this is a great little video about what it's like to go through bumps in the road, unexpected things, divorces, loss of a job, loss of a friendship, surprise pregnancies, cancer scares. All of this stuff are things that have happened in my life, and I can tell you that I've come out the other side feeling stronger. I know you can too. So if you like this video, please definitely give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe. I'd love to have you as a viewer. I've been thinking a lot about what it's like to not only go through them, experience them, big bumps in life. I'm not talking about like the small stuff. I'm talking about like the loss of a job, a cancer scare, something really big that really rocks your world, and how to get through that without just going into a total tailspin. So when I was in college, I would call it spinning out. And then as an adult, now I call it freaking out. That's how I refer to it. But whatever you call it, it's really important to be prepared for those things that are going to come along in life. And I just wanted to share with you how I get through those things, because unfortunately, they kind of happen to us a lot, right? My first tip would be, don't let fear rule. Get up, get off the couch, and do something. Don't get on the couch. Don't watch TV. Don't overdrink. Don't overeat. Don't go and do something you wouldn't normally do. Don't let fear make you just sort of like in this fear mentality where you sort of stop your momentum that you had before. This isn't the time for that. Okay, so my second thing that really helps me is I stick with my schedule. Whatever it is that works for you. What works for me is getting exercise, keeping my house tidy, sticking to my schedules, eating a balanced diet. Stick to your routine. Now's not the time to go out and charge a bunch of stuff on your credit card that you can't afford. That's not going to help you. So stick with the schedule that's been working for you. Just because a big bump has come along doesn't mean you have to let your whole life fall apart and go into a tailspin. Sometimes putting one foot in the front of the other can be a really hard thing. I can get really paralyzed by fear. And so sometimes what I need to do is write a list like, okay, this is what I'm going to accomplish this week. I'm going to get online and look for a job, or I'm going to interview, or I'm going to reach out to my contacts, whatever that is. If it's a cancer scare, you're going to reach out to your doctor and take all those next steps, because anybody who's been affected by cancer in any way, shape, or form knows that it's a whole long road to get you to healthy. So you have to keep taking those next steps. Sometimes it's hard to put one foot in front of the other, and so sometimes it's a weekly list, sometimes it's a daily list, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes when I really don't want to get out of the morning and I'm very fearful, like if I had like a bunch of people quit on my staff, or something was scary going on at work and I didn't want to go to work, I'd be like, okay, what are the next three things to get out the door? I gotta pack my lunch, I gotta brush my teeth, I gotta put on deodorant. Get through those things and then think, what are the next three things? I need to brush my hair, I need to put my clothes on. Whatever it is, do 3 things at a time until you've made that next big step, which is just getting out the door. Well, this is the time when you have to do the things that are best for you at this time. You need to consider yourself first. You can't say yes to things that you can't handle. You can't volunteer extra. You can't put more on your plate than you can take on. You really need to stop and take care of yourself right now. So saying yes to things that aren't right for you, this is a perfect opportunity for you to just say no. I say that all the time in all my videos. Feel free to say no, because you can only handle what you can handle. And right now, if you've got a lot on your plate, if you've got a lot of change in your life, this might not be the time to be taking on more. So don't be afraid to say no. Every day, do what you can. Do something towards your end goal. Do something towards things getting better for you, and then rest in that. Know that you've put in some effort. If you need to find a new job, if you need to find a way to make an income, then do that throughout the day. But then at the end of the day, rest in that. Don't continue, don't turn it into like a 14-hour day. You need your sleep, you need to take care of yourself. Sometimes we're so hard on ourselves, right? Sometimes we're just like, oh my gosh, how did I let this happen? How did I let this breakup happen? How did I not see this coming? Oh my gosh, now I don't have a job. How am I gonna make my car payment? And you get into this like really negative mindset. You need to step outside of yourself and think of yourself as your child, or as your little sister, or as someone who you think of is more fragile than you are. and take care of that person right now. Do things that are good for you, like go get a massage or go get a facial or go do something that feels good. Go hit balls in a batting cage. Whatever it is that makes you feel good, do those things. Don't do things that aren't good for you. Don't go out and charge up your credit card. Don't go out on a drinking binge. Don't go to Vegas and gamble your money away. Do things that are good for you, that make you feel good for yourself. If volunteering makes you feel good and you want to go spend your time doing that, sometimes volunteering can be one of those things that makes you realize things aren't as bad for me as I thought they were. You know, there's people in a worse position. Sometimes it can make you feel better to help somebody else. So if you think of yourself as you would your younger sister, like I would think about my younger sister, if she was going through something really hard, I would coddle her. I would take care of her. I would advise her to get exercise. I would advise her to love herself, to make time for herself, not to be hard on herself. You got to do those same things for yourself. You're just a human going through a really hard time, and it's really important that you keep perspective and really try your hardest to love on yourself and say loving, positive things to yourself. Definitely reach out to others. Reach out to other people who are positive and successful and who you trust. Don't overshare with people who you can't trust, but reach out to a few people who you know will be positive, who you know will tell you that it's going to be okay, who will give you good advice, who will lead you down a positive path. Don't share with a whole bunch of people and get pulled in a ton of different directions. Choose wisely who you share your problems with, and when you seek counsel of someone, make sure that they're worthy of not only counseling you, but holding your word and being trustworthy with it, because it's not going to make you feel any better to have everyone discussing whatever your problem is. You definitely want to seek supportive folks who aren't going to even freak out more than you are. You know, like if you've got a mom that is just going to, you know, oh my God, what's going to happen to us? What's going to happen to you? Oh my goodness. You don't need that. Seek people who are calm and rational and who can help walk you through this right now, because you're in a fragile state. So above all, stay positive. You can possibly come to terms with thinking of this as my next new adventure, as opposed to like a death sentence or something that is horrible. A lot of times when time passes, you realize like life is good, and I went through this really, really hard thing, but I came out on the other side stronger. And 90% of the time, that's what's going to happen anyway. My dad had cancer 10 years ago, and it was terrifying. And all of us went into kind of a tailspin. I was, except for my mom, she was like a rock. But I mean, I just like, all I wanted to do was vomit. It was horrible. But my dad went through the steps and was strong and got through it. And he was seeking counsel from great doctors, and he got through it, and now he's on the other side, and he's kicking ass as a grandparent and taking naps with his 2-year-old grandbaby, loving life. And I really believe that 9 times out of 10, that's how life can turn out. But we need to be positive, stay positive, believe in a positive outcome, and that's what we as humans need to do to get through to the other side. Think of whatever your struggle is. If you know me, I had a surprise pregnancy late in life. And at first I was really just like, oh my gosh, how are we going to make a 5th kid happen? Financially it would be tough. We weren't married. I was totally freaked out. And when I started looking at it like, oh my gosh, this is really going to happen. This is my next new adventure. Holy cow, I'm going to be 45 and have a baby. It's been one of the best things that ever happened to me. And if you can look at it like, this is the start of my next new adventure. Maybe it's a breakup today, but in a year from now, it might be the best thing that ever happened to you, because you might be starting a new adventure, maybe with someone else, maybe with yourself. Maybe your life will just change amazingly for the better. So believe in yourself, believe that there's a great result around the corner. We're amazing. Humans are amazing. We're resilient. You are amazing, and you're made for great things. And really, your potential is limitless.